about 19. And I was 20 years old. And was in Samson and we recorded an album, Head On. We recorded that album at his studio. And it was before we went out on tour with him after that, supporting him, right? And he was like my big hero, you know. And we were listening back to this album, and we were all sat in the, and Ian's in there, you know. I'm like, oh, Ian, you know. And we'd been up the pub and we had a few beers. And the engineer was rolling with his joint, right? So he passed the joint around, and Ian, you know, and so I smoked this joint, and suddenly I felt really sick, like I was gonna like throw up everywhere. You know? And I was like, oh no, whatever was in that, oh man, you know, you know. And Ian listened to him and goes, who's the singer? I'm like, me, you know. And he goes, cool vocals. I'm like, thanks, you should go to the toilet. And I went, and I was so sick. I had my head down the toilet for about 40 minutes. I thought I was going to die. And,
bad joint, wicked joint.
Oh, whatever it was, and the alcohol and everything. I mean, so finally he kicks the door in, and he goes, oh, yep, I think I can hear him. And there I am, covered in like, you know, just a disgusting state. And there's my hero looking down at me going, yeah, drag him out. You know, I'm like, oh, no. You know? And he was really cool. He like, you know, gave me, I think my ex-wife, I kept a towel he gave me, you know. I mean,
as a souvenir or something.
Yeah. I think my ex-wife has got it. Along with Richie Blackmore's guitar. I got one of Richie's guitars that he smashed one night, signed, you know. Damn.
And so do you have a lot of things like this, like tripping stuff, or?
Yeah, having a band that is into just going with stuff like that and creating atmospheres, you know, not being scared that you know the audience is going to sort of go, it's been 3 minutes and we haven't had a song that goes, you know, they're just totally cool because they're just like, yeah, well, we like listening to this stuff. And
did you feel that this kind of thing with the Maiden crowd, like they were waiting always for a heavy song, and sometimes they're not in the mood to play?
With Maiden, it was different because Maiden has had, still does, you know, such a defined style. You know, there's the way that Maiden works in terms of atmospherics and things like that is yeah, it's fixed, you know, and that's just the way that the band is, because you know the players are like that. Steve likes to have, you know, the drums and everything arranged like every drum fill, you know, you know, goes absolutely, you know, with the bass guitar and everything, and it's completely
and this kind of lack of groove that you were missing, like.
It's not a lack of groove; it's a different kind of groove, you know. With Maiden, we always it was interesting. If you put me and Steve next door to each other, and we said, you know, what do you like about heavy music? He'd say it's really aggressive. And that's why he likes it. I'd say it's really intense.
Different thing.
And it's just, you know. And when we were together, we tried to do the same kind of thing. I'd try and be like kind of intense about it, and you know, he's like the soccer player, just like you know, put it, you know, and that's the way he thinks, which is cool, you know, because a lot of people like it, and that's all right. And the way I thought was bang. And when we were together, we thought positive. You know, what we did in Maiden was a great mixture of you know, of that style and everything else. You know. I think the balance probably tipped more in favour of like the aggressive kind of thing with when Nico came. Okay. You know, because the groove, the drumming groove changed. Clive had more of a not laid back, but had, you know, more of a almost like an Ian Pace kind of drummer, you know.
Great drummer.
Yeah. Well, Clive was. I really missed him when, you know, when he left. I was kind of, you know, wow, you know. And some of the songs changed. I mean, Number of the Beast songs that we played on that tour, they changed. I mean, with Nico, in The Prisoners never sounded. Yeah. Yeah, well, that was my moment of glory, that intro. That was, Clive was out of the room, and we needed somebody to play the drums to the intro, and I wrote the intro, the bit, dum, back, dum, back. That's why the tom-tom fill is boom, 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 because I couldn't like do anything else. And then when he came in, I said, wow, could you do something cool, like, you know, on the bass drum, because I said, because you can do that, and I can't.
2 CDs, músicas ao vivo, e digo mais, hein? Nenhuma do Iron. Ele escolheu... Beleza. E o seguinte, agora vamos continuar então nosso bate-papo com o Bruce. Na real, foi um bate-papo mesmo, né? Não teve nada assim de entrevista, aquela coisa mais rígida, assim. Bruce, o que você achou das mulheres brasileiras? Nada disso, foi bate-papo mesmo, contou um monte, vai continuar contando agora. Ao final desse bloco, dessa entrevistinha, ele vai escolher um videoclipe. E aí na sequência tem mais 2 do Bruce. É só aguardar, confira agora Mr. Bruce Dickinson. Yeah. What about this new band? Like, it's still Bruce Dickinson. Would you like to change the name?
Oh yeah.
And put a name of a band,
I'd
not
like Bruce Dickinson to slowly shrink in little letters, you know. So yeah, we've got plans for a name for the next album, which we hope will become the name of the band at the same time.
Do you have this idea already, or?
Yeah, well, we had it for about a year, and then we kind of went, oh no, maybe it's too difficult a word, maybe we should think of something else that's more obvious, and we went through loads of different names, and finally I called Rod, my manager, then the other week and said, okay, we think we've got another name for the band, we're going to call it this. And he went, well, the original name you had was great. I never saw anything wrong with that. I went, you didn't? He goes, no. I said, oh, cool, okay, good. Well, we'll call it that then, you know, because it felt wrong when I said it on the telephone, you know. It's funny, when they were going to, the name for Balls To Picasso at one point was going to be, it was going to be called 1,000 Points of Light. Like, 1,000 Points of Light, you know. But I thought it sounded kind of pompous. And in fact, we were in this bar in New York, and we just finished the cut, and some guy came up to me and went, you know, oh wow, it's Bruce, you know, what's the new album called? And I went, it's called, and I couldn't say it. I was just like, 1,000 Points of Light. I thought, oh, I can't say that. You know, I said, we don't have a name yet.
All right.
You know,
we'll think about it.
Yeah, think about it for another 5 minutes, you know.
We'd like to choose a video to put in this program. Which one would you like to?
I'm gonna choose the one on which I got very cold, very wet, and which I think is the best video I've ever been in my whole life. Howard Greenall directed it. Top man, fantastic, and we made it with the aid of a brandy bottle, all these swimming around in the sea. We couldn't have done it without it. Just Tears of the Dragon.
What about your first solo album, like
Yeah.
To the Millionaire? Do you like that album, or do you think it's different from what you're doing now? Or?
Oh, no, I do like that album. I mean, I'm not one of these guys that is going to turn around and say, I regret doing, you know, what I did. I don't regret doing anything I've ever done in terms of, you know, music and stuff. I mean, I did it, I sang it. Somebody wants to turn around and say, don't you think that lyric's a bit dumb? I could say, probably it is, you know, but at the time I did it, I enjoyed it. You know, so, okay, oops, you know, some of the stuff I used to wear on stage, you know, some of the trousers, boy, are they dumb, you know, I mean, but I did it, well, you know, I take full responsibility. So, yeah, Tattooed Millionaire was just a product of a summer holiday.
Esse foi Mr. Bruce Dickinson, então, comentando sobre seu primeiro trabalho solo, Tattooed Millionaire, na época que ele ainda estava no Iron Maiden, nem pensava em sair, certo? De fundo ouvimos isso aqui, Alive in Studio A, 2 álbuns ao vivo, um no Studio A, lá que foi numa rádio, e o outro no Marquee, um dos maiores clubes londrinos de show, certo? Então foi aí, a entrevista com Bruce Dickinson foi, na verdade, um belo bate-papo, cara é muito figura, gente boa e tem todo o respeito do mundo. E além do mais, tivemos aí estreias de Corrosion of Conformity e também de Madball. Dessa forma, vamos ficando por aqui. Valeu, até a próxima.